Alright guys, I'm going to make this short, sweet, and to the point. We're going to be doing a review on my Glock 45, and let me tell you, it is absolutely one of the most dependable guns that I have on this inside my room as of right now, until I get my HK45. Then we will be seeing this compared to the HK45. But anyway, besides the point, this thing is absolutely amazing. Now, understand, when it comes to the comparison between, the 1911 and the Glock in general, we are talking about two completely different designs in the sense that we have one that's polymer and one that is fully metal. We have a metal frame and a metal slide. Now, with that being said, when it comes to 1911s, you need a break-in period in order to get that thing firing to the optimum, firing at a good optimum pace, And so this thing right here, I've managed to shoot this thing no problem from the get-go. I've put around 800 rounds in this thing, and it has yet to have any failures whatsoever, so that's great. We're talking about dependable, reliable, and absolutely boring design. But it has a high round capacity. We're talking about 17 rounds. This is a double stack, and it fits fairly well in my hand. In fact, it felt a little too short for me, so I ended up getting I ended up taking one of the grip extended things that it came with and went ahead and smacked it on there. Literally just take a pin and take this pin out, and then after that smack it on there, put the pin in, and then bam, you got yourself the extender. So far as taking it apart goes, is fairly simple. Just like any other Glock, you just pull down on, there's one of these on each side. You pull down, whip on both sides, let go of the slide, pull the trigger, and it'll move forward. After that, you're good to go. From there, you can go ahead, take out the spring. It's just a simple pull out from the back. And then you take out the barrel. Make sure you push in the barrel, lean it outwards, and you're able to go ahead and take it out like that. The only reason why I do that is because if I just try to take it out like this, alright, it's a lot more simple to put it in that way than it is to, let me rephrase it. You can just push it out, you can just push it out, but it'll naturally, like for me, it'll naturally do that on its own. So I'll just go ahead and take it out like that. As far as putting it back together, I typically just put it in a little more and then slide it back in. So when it comes to putting this thing back together, we'll have to put a little footnote. If you're not into Glocks or you don't know much about Glocks, you have two little lips here. When putting this thing back together, there is a little rounded out area for where the spring goes. That is where your spring is going to go. Not up here on this second lip. It's at the bottom lip right here. Alright, so when you put it in, it's going to look like this inside the slide. Alright, so let's go ahead and put it back together. It's a very simple way, a very simple pistol. It's very easy to take apart and clean and put it back together. You press down on the slide and it'll be able to go into that little rivet. So now you see it's in there. And then you just slide it back on. Make sure you do a functions check. Press the trigger. Hold it. Let it reset. And then press it again. And we're all good. Make sure that the safety works. So there is a little lever on the trigger. I don't know if you can see it all that well. Yep, there it is. That lever on the trigger is the only way to go ahead and take it off safe. So you press down on the trigger, and then, or press down on the lever, and then it'll press down on the trigger naturally, and you'll be able to press that trigger. And boom. If you go ahead and just press the trigger without pulling the lever, which is what I'm going to do, you're going to see that it does not want to go any further. That is because it's unsafe. It's naturally unsafe. So that's good. Great. So we are talking about, reliable, 800 rounds, no problems, dependable. I can pull this thing out whenever I need to, and if I aim wherever I want to aim is where it's going to shoot. You know, if you want to make this more modular, you can go ahead and get a new, or it is very modular. You get a new slide for it. You can get a threaded barrel. You can go ahead and get a little light on there. You can get an extended magazine. You can shave this down so that way you can put an optic on here. There's a lot of stuff that you can do for the pistol, and it will still be reliable. I just choose not to after all this time of owning it. I think I've been owning it now for around 2 years now, and this thing has yet to fail me. It has had so many rounds through it, and I clean it after every run. It just does not stop kicking. That's the one thing that I like about this thing. So that's one thing that I'd like to point out. If I were to rate this, it would be 4.5 out of 5. And the reason why I give it that is because it is just so bland, and it takes a decent bit of money to get this thing to be looking good. Now, I'm not saying you need all that stuff to make it look good. If you think that this thing looks good by itself, cool, by all means. Everybody has a preference. I'm just saying it's a block. It's like a gun that came out of Minecraft, It's just a block, a brick that has, polymer on it, and then it shoots rounds, So it's lightweight, which is really cool, and it has, I think it's like a 4.5-inch barrel here, if I remember correctly. And then this is, as you can see here, this is the Gen 5. It's engraved onto the barrel, but this is the Gen 5 pistol. So, anyway, besides the point, I will say this. Get yourself a Glock, and if you want to deck it out, you can. I highly don't recommend it. The only reason why is because it's going to cost a bit of money. I think your best bet is just put a flashlight on there, keep it at your bedside, and that's it. That's all you really need. You got 17 rounds of 9mm, and it comes with 3 mags, so all you need is one box, like a box of 50, and you can fill this thing up, no problem. So that's cool. With that being said, get yourself a Glock and do what you want with it. That's the whole point of this thing. This thing is a builder's pistol. If you want to build it, cool. If you don't want to build it, you want to keep it like this, and it's still going to be accurate, do what you want with it. Have a great day, guys. Get yourself a Glock.